Hello and welcome to Thunderbird Blades. My name's Neil and today we explore the CIVIVI Dogma, a knife that blends an abundance of brass with a boatload of badassery to create a beautiful blade bursting with personality. Just look at it for a moment. It's flipping awesome. The Dogma's currently on sale at Blade HQ for about $67, a very good price for this classy brass flipper. At the business end of the knife, it's rocking a stunning 3.5-inch clip point blade cut from D2. It has a very pretty matte black stonewash finish with a gorgeous hollow grind and sexy swedge. I've never personally been keen on black coated blades, mostly because they scuff over time with use and I'm a sucker for crisp satin finishes, but this one's really beautiful and I think necessary. I know CIVIVI offers a silver stonewash version of this knife, but I don't think it's as aesthetically pleasing. The black and the brass combo pops, whereas I think the silver would compete with the brass and distract. It's razor sharp straight out of the box, very thin behind the edge, tapering to a blade thickness of 0.12 inches at the spine, so it's nice and slicey. I love this sleek stylized thumb hole. It's good for slow roll deployments, but it's a no-go for spidey flicks. The detent is just too stiff. It has a cute little flipper tab with some light jimping to assist with blade actuation. And talking of blade actuation, the Dogma's party piece is the action. The blade is riding on cage bearings, making it super smooth, super precise, and super snappy. It's quite simply super flipping awesome. I would go as far as to say that this is the best action I've ever experienced on a CIVIVI. Well done. Blade centering is straight down the middle. I'd expect nothing less from these guys. The Dogma's coming in at a full fat fighting weight of 5.51 ounces. Yeah, it's heavy. But you know what? You've just got to accept that when buying knives with brass and copper finishes, that weight is never going to be a priority. Now, if weight is important to you, then I'd recommend taking a peek at the G10 version. You'll shave 2 ounces and save $19. Okay, moving on down the knife, we have these stunning, and I mean stunning, brass scales with an old school machine jig pattern. Look at them. Ding dong, aren't they pretty? I have to say I'm really loving this mashup of classic versus contemporary aesthetic. These faux bolsters with that jig scale pattern combined with this badass clip point blade gives this knife tons and tons of personality. I'm not sure if this is by design, but the black coating on the faux bolsters has a slightly weathered look, and you know what? I just love it. I appreciate the imperfections, even if it's a happy accident. I think it adds kind of that slightly aged and worn look to the knife. Not only does the jig pattern look amazing, it also offers good grippage as well, so it's quite functional. Sitting under the scales, we have gloss black steel skeletonized liners and a liner lock. The liner lock is rock solid, although CIVIVI could have made life easier by machining out an access ramp on the show side. That being said, it does have jimping that stands proud of the scales, so it's fairly easy to access and disengage. At the back end of the merchandise, we have CIVIVI's standard loop over deep carry pocket clip. CIVIVI does a great job matching their pocket clip finishes to that of the liners in the hardware. This one's been canted to the left, which helps the knife naturally hang to the right. This in turn reduces the amount of chafing between your fingers and the flipper tab when you're in and out of the pocket. The clip is also fully reversible, which is good news for goofy flipsters. Beyond the clip, we have a black G10 spacer with a lanyard hole. I personally wish CIVIVI would drop this lanyard hole design, and maybe lanyard holes period. One, because I've never used or plan to use a lanyard ever, especially on a four-fingered knife such as this. And two, I don't think the design integrates well into the overall aesthetic. The pivot cap and hardware screws were all perfect circles, and then they added this slanted oval shape into the mix. On top of that, I feel like they're deliberately trying to call attention to the hole by clipping the scales around it. They did the same thing on the Elementum, and I didn't like it on that knife either. I don't know, it just looks out of place to me. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Okay, enough of the lanyard rant. It's time for a quick size comparison. Let's bring in the ZT0452 carbon fiber, the biggest, baddest, most murderous looking knife I own, a beast of a blade from CIVIVI, and the Ganzo FH61, one of the best budget blades in the world, which coincidentally has a very similar blade profile. Check out my video on this bad boy, it's flipping awesome. Overall length on the Dogma from tip to tail is 7.75 inches. And, you know, looking at this lineup, it's fair to say this knife sits comfortably in the mid to large size category. So, the ergos on the Dogma are really nice. Scales are chamfered and there's no pinching from the pocket clip. I can easily get a 4-finger grip on the scales and my thumb naturally wants to rest on top of the blade spine. Overall, it sits nicely in the hand and is very comfortable. Oh, and the finger choil. It allows you to choke up on the blade for more precision push-type cuts if needed. Okay, final thoughts. The Dogma is quite literally the dog's bollocks. Fit and finish is superb, the action is world class, the black on brass aesthetic is badass. Yeah, she's got some junk in the trunk and could lose a few ounces, but oh boy, she's a safe queen dream. Alright, that's it for today. If you like the video and want to see more, please click the like and subscribe buttons. If you think this sucks, you're always welcome to click the dislike button twice. Thanks so much for your time, stay safe, and as always, keep flipping awesome knives.